Hello, guys. Welcome back to another election prediction video. This time it's a 2024 Republican primary prediction, but without Donald Trump running. So this scenario only happens if Trump probably gets an indictment from the Georgia case and they prosecute him or something, and that could prevent him from running for president, possibly. So this is basically that hypothetical. So without Trump in the race, what would the map look like? So we'll start off with Iowa, and DeSantis would have a super big lead. Like, it almost will probably be going into the 50s because he would pick up a lot of those Trump voters. Then Nikki and Haley will split up the rest of the votes. I think Nikki Haley will be slightly edging out Mike Pence here. So it'll be some sort of split like that because Iowa is proportional. Then we head to the next state, which is New Hampshire. New Hampshire, DeSantis, he would do pretty well in. But again, Nikki Haley is actually climbing up there. So again, it'll be like probably mid 40s. Nikki Haley would definitely do better than Mike Pence, honestly. I just don't see Pence doing that well there. I'll give him 20%. That's fair. Okay, next state. Nevada and South Carolina, which are both on the same date. And South Carolina does by district, and Nevada is proportional. Let's start with the Nevada first. So with Nevada, again, Haley and Pence will be splitting the vote, but I actually think DeSantis gets a narrow majority here. He would pick up most of those Trump voters, while Pence again finishes in third. In South Carolina, I actually think Nikki Haley wins this state, and it goes by district. So whoever gets a majority in that district wins all the district's delegates. And again, if it's under 50%, then the people below it in second and third get some delegates too. So I think Pence will get a little bit. He'll get like 5 delegates. While Nikki Haley probably gets a lion's share. It is her home state, and she's only right behind DeSantis in South Carolina polling. It is her home state, so she would get the lion's share of the delegates. Well, I would say DeSantis gets around 28% of them. The next state in the primary calendar is a winner take most state with Michigan. With Michigan, I do think that DeSantis is extremely favored to win. Again, Pence splitting the vote really hurts him here. He'd probably only get a little bit of delegates, while Nikki Haley gets like 23%. And usually, winner take most states, they get like 65% of the delegates. Okay, I still think Mike Pence hangs in there, even without a win, because I think he wants to at least win one state on Super Tuesday. All right. Let's go into the next few states. We'll start off with North Carolina and Virginia. These two states, I think Haley would really try to win. But Pence, again, just splitting a vote really hurts her here. She would get a decent amount of support. Let's give Pence a little bit more. I think North Carolina would be one of the closer states, but I still think DeSantis gets to win. Virginia definitely would be one of the more closer states. I could see probably Youngkin maybe endorsing Nikki Haley in this scenario because she's the more moderate candidate than DeSantis. But again, I think DeSantis would get those remaining Trump voters, and that would just put an end to her there. In Vermont, this is one of the more moderate GOP states. I actually think Nikki Haley would carry a state like this against DeSantis, while DeSantis gets only a little bit of delegates there. Massachusetts, it's a very Trumpy state in the primary. Honestly, at this point, Massachusetts Republicans are just super partisan. They're not moderate at all. I mean, we already seen the primary polling. Trump's leading by so much in Massachusetts, it's not even a contest. He's already up like nearly 60% in some of the polling. So a lot of that Trump support would go behind DeSantis because he's the more partisan or more right-wing candidate in this field. So again, he would get over probably like 60% of the vote, while Nikki Haley gets 26%, Mike Pence gets 12%. In a state like Maine, I actually could see a lot of Susan Collins-like Republicans actually casting their vote for Nikki Haley. So I think she actually gets a narrow victory here. But this would be one of the closer states. Again, Pence would get some delegates, but not a lot because it is a winner-take-most state. So it goes something like this. Yeah. So Nikki Haley has 2 wins so far in the Super Tuesday matchup. In Alabama, again, winner take most state. So DeSantis would get most of the delegates here, and Pence would get a very small amount. In Tennessee, winner take most state again. Again, They go very heavy behind DeSantis, and then Pence would get a little bit of delegates. Another winner take most state, DeSantis, 66% of the vote. Well, 66% of the delegates, while Pence gets like just a little bit. Oklahoma, another winner take most state. Again, DeSantis would do pretty well there, get most of the delegates. While Pence only gets like a minuscule, like probably 2 delegates, or maybe just 3. Okay. Texas, DeSantis has a huge lead in the primary polling without Trump in there, so he would easily win Texas and get most of the delegates there. Nikki Haley gets a very small amount, while Pence also gets a pretty small amount. Okay, Minnesota, it's a winner-take-all state. Could Nikki Haley win here? Usually Minnesota Republicans tend to be more moderate, but I still think DeSantis wins all the delegates here in Minnesota, thus netting him a good amount. In Colorado and Utah, again, it's winner take most states. I actually think Nikki Haley would actually narrowly edge out DeSantis here. So it's a winner take most states. You get most of the delegates. DeSantis gets a strong second place finish, and Mike Pence gets a little bit. Utah, this is the one state I think Mike Pence could win. He has a decent appeal among those Mormons. So I honestly think he would actually pull a narrow victory in the state. His only victory, honestly. Well, Nikki Haley probably gets either second or probably third, honestly. Then we head to California, and again, DeSantis has a huge lead in the polling here. Even against Trump, he has a poll lead here. This is one of these stronger states. And it's a winner-take-all state, but according to congressional district. So that's if you get over 50% in that district. So of course, Pence will get some delegates. Not that many. Probably like 11. Nikki Haley gets the rest, because there'll be some districts he's under 50 in. Alright. What other contests are there on this day? Let's see. I think I'm missing Alaska. Yeah. Alaska, it's a proportional state. So this is one state I think Nikki Haley would narrowly finish ahead in against DeSantis, just like by a narrow margin. So Nikki Haley comes away with 4 victories on Super Tuesday. DeSantis with 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 victories. And Mike Pence with just 1 lone victory. Honestly, at this point, Mike Pence would drop out. It's pathetic showing, only winning 1 state. At least he won at least 1, but... Alright, next few states. Guam, Kansas, the northern Marinara Islands, and Puerto Rico. So we'll start with the islands first. Guam, it is a selection process, so I do think Nikki Haley would be favored to win in a selection process against DeSantis, but he is trying to court that party elite. The next one is the Northern Marinara Islands, and that's proportional, and a lot of people are allowed to vote there, so I think DeSantis would be favored to win. It's not just party elites that are allowed to vote there. Puerto Rico, it's a winner-take-most state. I think DeSantis would easily win there by a decent margin. And then we have Kansas, which is a by-district caucus. So, again, I think DeSantis would be favored to win there. Okay, let's see the next state. Hawaii, Idaho, Mississippi, Missouri, Washington, the next Super Tuesday. Mississippi's winner-take-most state, so DeSantis would get most of the delegates here against Nikki Haley. Missouri, another winner-take-most state. He would get most of the delegates against her here as well. North Dakota, it's selection process, so I think Nikki Haley would come out slightly ahead of him just due to her appealing well to the party elites. Idaho, it's a winner-take-most state. I could see Mike Pence probably endorsing Nikki Haley here, because I could see Trump endorsing DeSantis if he's just barred from running and he just doesn't like Nikki Haley or Mike Pence. Honestly, he probably wouldn't endorse anyone, but I see most Trump voters probably aligning with DeSantis while Nikki Haley takes a more moderate approach, and I think that more moderate approach would help her in a state like Idaho because of the Mormon vote, which usually tends to be a bit more moderate. Okay, there's the delegate margins there. Washington, it's a proportional state, and I could see Nikki Haley narrowly edging out DeSantis there, just appealing to the more moderate types of Republicans. Okay. let's see on our list: Arizona, Florida, Illinois, and Ohio. So Florida, obviously, winner take all state. DeSantis would get all the delegates from Florida. In Ohio, again, another winner take all states. He'd definitely win here. Same with Illinois. Arizona, it's like Nikki Haley's last stand, but honestly, with the momentum DeSantis has, he could probably win this state as well. At this point, I think it's really hard to see her win, but I think she'll just hang in there just for a little bit longer. American Samoa party elites would probably still back Nikki Haley. Louisiana, Georgia, these are winner take all states, and they would probably both go to DeSantis at this point. And with Nikki Haley really seeing no path to victory, because let's look at the pie chart. Yeah, it's nearly a majority of the delegates. At that point, she would drop out of the race, and DeSantis would probably win pretty much every other contest because it's really winner take most or winner take all. There's very little proportional states left, and honestly, we could just go through the proportional states. She would still get like 17% here. Well, actually, 17% even is a bit much, probably a little bit lower. New Mexico is a proportional state as well. She'd probably get a bit lower. Oh, I forgot to do Hawaii, which was in that Super Tuesday. Yeah, she wouldn't win it. DeSantis would get it. Any other proportional states? Kentucky's a proportional, and that's the last one, and then he would just get 100% of those delegates. So let's do it this way. Boom, 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 boom. We get all those. DC, Maryland, Delaware, these are all very late contests. So DeSantis would win the Republican primary by a pretty decent amount, but Nikki Haley should get some victories due to moderate Republicans, and Mike Pence, he would do well with the Mormon vote. But overall, this is what the primary matchup would look like if Trump could not run.